BSU t-shirts, because on that day we also do My Black Means. It just gives us opportunity to express our differentness and still show that we're all related in those different ways.
BSU Chief of Staff Leah Davis is excited about the events that will take place this week. She feels the series of events is necessary and tells us the true purpose.
Basically, the theme of the week is I Am BSU Week, and we really just want to show and just give events that people can just come out and have fun too. I think we are the Black Student Union, and so a lot of times, Black students just want fun spaces. I think that's what we're trying to provide. All these events, they're really just for all of us to just come together and have just a really nice community time. So I'm really excited about that.
Again, there will be events held throughout the rest of the week, so don't be disappointed if you missed the movie night. You have the chance to meet up with BSU for bowling at Premier Lanes tonight around 8 p.m. Lauren, Kassidy, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Andranita. Coming up, we'll have the latest allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and how this could further delay possible confirmation.
And stay tuned to see why a wage change may make Amazon the place to work. But first, Gavin Norton has your first look at the current conditions.
Here's our first look at the weather headlines for this week. We're going to see warmer temperatures, and that's going to continue all the way into the weekend, although we are going to see some thunderstorms Friday. We're also going to see the continuity of high humidity. If you want to take a look at the live radar, what we can tell is that over in the Oxford area here, we do have quite a bit of rain and clouds, and we're going to see exactly what that means for us coming up next on Storm Watch.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
So, I'm kinda new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
Two pieces of mail delivered to the Pentagon mail facility have tested positive for ricin. Ricin is a highly toxic compound that is extracted from castor beans and has been used in terror plots. The two envelopes were addressed to Secretary of Defense James Mattis and to Chief Naval Operations Admiral John Richardson. All U.S. Postal Service mail received at the Pentagon mail screening facility yesterday is currently under quarantine and poses no threat to Pentagon personnel. Judge Brett Kavanaugh's journey for a seat on the Supreme Court continues to be up in the air. As the FBI looks into his past, more comments, both positive and negative, are emerging.
More plot twists in the Brett Kavanaugh soap opera. Among the latest, Kavanaugh was accused of starting a bar fight in 1985 while he was a Yale student. New Haven police say tensions flared after Kavanaugh allegedly threw ice at someone.
When he was asked by the officers whether or not he did it, he would not state yes or no.
The police report doesn't indicate whether anyone was arrested. Even some critics of Kavanaugh say his drinking in the past shouldn't disqualify him from the Supreme Court, but they say his words might.
He has painted himself as a choir boy who never engaged in any of this behavior, and all of the evidence seems to go the other way.
President Trump says Kavanaugh is being attacked unfairly by the Democrats.
They've been trying to destroy him since the very first second he was announced because they know that Judge Kavanaugh will follow the Constitution as written. That's been his history.
Judge Kavanaugh's nomination is out of committee. We're considering it here on the floor, and Mr. President, we'll be voting this week.
One person who will play a major factor in that vote, Republican Senator Jeff Flake, who triggered the latest investigation into Kavanaugh.
Decency shouldn't be that hard, but it apparently is. The politics of vengeance, that's easy. Dehumanization requires very little talent.
Kavanaugh has yet to comment on the latest allegations. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders tweeted Monday night calling the New York Times report on the bar fight as a ridiculous story.
Melania Trump is staying away from the chaos that is Washington and is stepping off Executive One in Africa today. She arrived in Ghana on her first major solo journey as the First Lady. She is expected to make stops at local schools and hospitals, visiting with children and taking in the regional cultural experiences. Melania is also promoting her Be Best platform, helping kids in a broad spectrum of categories ranging from wellness to cyberbullying. And yesterday was a grim reminder for those survivors and loved ones who were killed in the deadliest single-day mass shooting in modern-day U.S. history. Many hundreds joined them in honoring the victims throughout the day yesterday. The iconic marquee lights of the Las Vegas Strip went dark at 10:01 p.m. to coincide with the moment Stephen Paddock began shooting into a crowd of 22,000 concertgoers. Then, Las Vegas Mayor Caroline Goodman read the names of each of the 58 victims as a candle was lit and a bell was chimed to honor them.
4 men are charged in connection to the Unite the Right rally that took place last year in Charlottesville, Virginia. The men were identified as Benjamin Drake Daly, Michael Paul Miselis, Thomas Walter Gillen, and Cole Evan White. They were also identified as members and associates of the Rise Above movement, a militant white supremacist organization based in Southern California. The investigation is ongoing, but the men face rioting and conspiracy charges with maximum prison sentences of 5 years on each account. Well, if you're looking for a job, working for Amazon may be the way to go. The company announced it's raising its minimum wage to $15 an hour for all U.S. workers. Compare that to the federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. The change applies to full-time, part-time, and temporary workers, and Amazon says the $15 minimum wage will benefit more than 250,000 Amazon employees and 100,000 seasonal workers. The hike goes into effect on November 1st.
Before and after satellite images of the tsunami in Indonesia captures the scale of destruction. The damage is caused by an effect known as soil liquefaction. The dirt literally turns to liquid when the earthquake hits, swallowing up entire homes in the process. The death toll rose dramatically overnight to more than 1,200 people. The number of deaths is expected to grow as rescue teams continue to find more survivors. And watch out, Arizona, something wet is coming your way. As Tropical Depression Rosa moves northeast, the storm is expected to dump 2 to 4 inches of rain on Arizona and up to 6 inches in the mountains. Rosa is expected to produce flash flooding, and the National Weather Service has warned residents to avoid the state's famous canyons and any campsites near creeks. Flash flood watches will cover nearly 9 million people, including Phoenix and Salt Lake City.
Well, the rain rolled in for a quick second in Oxford today, and hopefully it stays away for the rest of the week.
Coming up, Gavin Norton will let us know if the sun will continue to shine in his extended forecast.
listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
Whoa.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
Thank you for joining us on Storm Watch. I'm Gavin Norton. The current temperature outside is a warm 82 degrees, and we do have some chance of thunderstorms continuing later on into the evening with a chance of rain at 40%. If we want to move in and take a look at what this means on our radar, we can see that Oxford over here is exclusive in the rain department in the state of Mississippi, and like I said, that'll continue on into the evening hours. But if we want to take a look and see what it's like regionally, we can tell that the areas around us are reaching about 80 degrees, high 80s, low 90s. And looking at tomorrow, we can see that trend will continue again with temperatures in the area reaching the high 80s. Now, what that means for tonight's weather is we're going to get down to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, and the chance of rain is going to drop, but we still are going to see some thunderstorms in the early hours of the night. And tomorrow we can look forward to a day that is much less wet. It's going to be partly cloudy, chance of rain at 20%, and we're going to reach 88 degrees. If we want to take an extended look and see what we're going to see over the next 5 days, it's a good week for a fan of 87 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to see thunderstorms on Friday, but those temperatures are going to keep fairly consistent. That's back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Gavin. Coming up, see which former Ole Miss player is getting his induction into the SEC Hall of Fame.
And see what head coach Kermit Davis had to say about the upcoming season for men's basketball.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Welcome to Sports Watch. I'm Maddy Bierster. Another football legend added to the Ole Miss Sports Hall of Fame today. Former Ole Miss All-American punter Jim Miller, who earned All-American honors in 1979, was a three-time All-SEC first-team pick and a member of both the Ole Miss Team of the Century and now the Ole Miss Sports Hall of Fame. Known for punting barefoot, Miller still holds school records for most career punts at 266 and over 11,000 career punting yards. Miller played 6 years in the NFL and was selected to the NFL All-Rookie Team in 1980. He will be recognized at the SEC Football Championship game, which will be held at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta on Saturday, December 1st. And the hits keep coming for Ole Miss football. With the Rebels' already depleted offense, they are running low on starters and have to tap into their reserves. Safety C.J. Moore suffered a torn pectoral muscle against LSU this past weekend and is out for the week against ULM. Moore could be out for an extended period of time, however, and possibly the rest of this season, once doctors take a closer look at the severity of the injury. This now senior also tore this muscle previously during fall camp in 2016, causing him to miss the entire season and use a medical redshirt. This is the third substantial injury the defense has experienced this season, but while Moore is out for the foreseeable future, junior running back Armani Linton is being shifted over to defense to fill in Moore's spot for now. We'll keep an eye out for Linton this weekend as we take on ULM at home at 3 p.m. Starting off on the right foot for Ole Miss, though, head basketball coach Kermit Davis and the men's basketball team hosted their media day this week and had their first official practice of the 2018 year. Coach Davis talks about his hope for this upcoming season.
Opening day is kind of opening day. It's going to be good to be able to be with our guys, on a more consistent basis. I'm looking forward to coaching our team. We've got a lot of work, and in one phase we are way ahead where we should be just because of the time in Canada. That really helped us a lot.
The Rebels season will debut on November 2nd in an exhibition game against Fayetteville State at the Pavilion with a tip-off of 6 p.m. Switching to the Diamond now, the Cubs look to extend their season as they host the National League wild card game against the Colorado Rockies at Wrigley Field tonight. The Rockies at 91-72 and dropped a 5-2 decision to the Los Angeles Dodgers in yesterday's other divisional tiebreaker. Now the Rockies will fly cross-country to face the Cubs. The loser of tonight's game will see the end of their season, sadly. First pitch will take place at 7 p.m. More in baseball news now. A 7th grader is very happy after his idol, a Boston Red Sox player, surprised him with tickets to their upcoming playoff games. 12-year-old Lucas Feliciano was greeted at his school at Boston Green Academy by Red Sox outfielder Jackie Bradley, who delivered 4 free tickets for home Red Sox playoff games today. The Red Sox opponents for these games is still to be determined, but the first game of 5 will take place this Friday, October 5th at 7:32 p.m. Now be sure to follow our Twitter at NewsWatch_UM for all your sports updates, and I'll be live reporting this game for you guys this weekend against ULM on Saturday at 3 p.m. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Maddie. Up next, find out how one NASA astronaut brought a music video to space.
And stay tuned to see why it was an out-of-this-world experience.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution.
We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
NASA astronaut Drew Feustel has had a lot on his plate recently. Not only has he been working on board the International Space Station for months, but he's also been busy recording a song and music video which were released Sunday.
Feustel recorded all around the world while he was literally orbiting the planet. The song was written by Feustel's friend, Gord Sinclair of the Canadian rock band, The Tragically Hip. Sinclair says the song reflects Feustel's experience on the ISS, emphasizing the themes of the international cooperation and brotherhood. Feustel's stint on the ISS wraps up tomorrow.
So I know it's usually cold in space, but what's the weather looking like back on Earth?
Oh, well, sorry to ground you, but it's going to be warm the next week. We're going to see temperatures in the high 80s and high humidity all the way through the week.
I wish it would go back to being cold like it was last week.
Oh,
that
yeah.
fall weather was beautiful.
It was
Thanks,
perfect.
Gavin.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Lauren Conley.
Be sure to join us here again tomorrow night at 5 and on NewsWatchOleMiss.com. I'm Kassidy Biss. Thank you and good night.